Greetings, Cambridge Christian School Society members. No doubt this has been an extraordinary season for Cambridge Christian School as we find ourselves in the midst of this global pandemic. Like so many others in our world in recent weeks, Cambridge Christian School has made adjustments. Yet the closure of our building has not meant the end of Christian education. On the contrary, we have seen God's faithfulness as He has given our community the strength to face the unique challenges of delivering an at-home learning program. As the principal of Cambridge Christian School, I would like to express my thankfulness to every student, every parent, every school supporter and member, every teacher and staff member who have continued to give their all to the glory of God. Although this membership meeting we are coming into will be online, I hope you will be encouraged when you see what God continues to do in our midst at Cambridge Christian School. When we announced the building closure due to COVID-19, we quickly established the need to prioritize learning. It's amazing to see how learning has continued in the areas of mathematics, reading, and writing. And for those grade 8 students, additional lessons in science and French have been given to continue to prepare them for high school. Our ESL program continues to give support to 12 students with an online learning platform, and our special education program continues to support a total of 36 students in their learning. Perhaps one of the most challenging pieces of the at-home learning program is to ensure that teachers continue to assess student work and give support. And so I've asked our curriculum coordinator, Mrs. Fran Vandermeulen, to speak a little bit about assessment.
Hello. Our goals in curriculum this season are to make sure that we provide lessons in the 3 basic subjects of reading, writing, and mathematics. So within those subjects, there may be grammar, spelling, composition, and various forms of reading. We are focusing on the basics. At this point, we want to do them well. We want to meet the objectives that we have within our curriculum so that we meet or exceed what we normally would be able to do in those programs. So part of our online lessons is also to include a devotional reading every day, and that sometimes will come in the form of something that is prepared and sent to the community through devotions that Mr. Beta might prepare, but most of the time in the week it will come from the classroom teacher. The third thing that we are trying to do is to make sure that we help struggling students meet their goals in reading, writing, and math, and so that we can provide them extra support. So our resource staff and our educational assistants are key in bringing that as well, once teachers can see the needs of their students. We have 3 things that we then are doing. We're providing the daily lessons for the students, we are delivering a devotional, and we are keeping an eye on students that are struggling. Regular work is being submitted so that teachers can see how students are doing, and a reminder is sent home if work is missing. The second thing we are doing is making sure that teachers mark and assess classroom and quiz work each week to note the progress, and based on that we can provide the tutoring. And thirdly, we're starting to think about report cards and making sure that we do full tests in each of those 3 subjects, especially in mathematics, where we have a unit test, and so that at the end we can hope to provide feedback at a report card. So the report card will be done with an anecdotal comment. It will state how much of the coursework the student has required. For example, all, 3/4, half, 1/4. For example, it was a pleasure to teach Michael at our at-home learning program in the 3rd term. Michael was able to complete half of the assigned course of study. The other thing we are doing is providing a reading mark within the anecdotal section, and also a writing and a mathematics mark. For example, the online lessons and support from home enabled Sophia to score 98% on the math she was able to complete. So that would be an example of what you might expect for 3rd term. So that's what's happening at this point in curriculum.
Thank you, Fran. Our new vice principal this year is Mrs. Melissa Groves, and she has been so valuable supporting myself and all the teachers in recent days. And I've asked Melissa to give you a brief update about the importance of the the contact between students and teachers and communication as we deliver our at-home learning program.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Groves. For those that do not know me yet, I am the Vice Principal and the Grade 8 homeroom teacher. During this time of online learning, it has been my pleasure to help support staff as they learn different aspects of technology. On March 25th, we launched our entire school from JK to grade 8 onto Google Classroom. Google Classroom has allowed our teachers to post daily lessons in reading, writing, and math. Each day, our students are able to get up and start their day with devotions with their teachers and then begin their schoolwork for the day. Google Classroom allows our students to work on assignments, quizzes, and tests right on the classroom page. This has been important during COVID-19 because we have not had to exchange papers between students and staff members. Another important feature that we are using in our classroom is Google Meet. Google Meet allows our teachers to interact with their students one-on-one or in larger groups, such as the entire class. This week with my grade 8 class, I hosted a Kahoot review game for integers and math. We did this through Google Meet, and it ended up that all 21 students played this review game in all different locations. Google Meet has been important in our resource department. Our resource teachers have been able to meet with their students and support them in many ways similar to what they would in the school building. These are just two important features that we are using in our school. Google Classroom has been amazing because we've been able to set it up for every class, as well as the resource department and the Lexia department. We are so blessed to have these features, and they have helped us continue to provide our students with an excellent education during this adventure of online learning.
You won't want to miss our upcoming membership meeting, as Melissa is creating a longer video to give you a peek into each Google Classroom so you can actually see what's going on. Many of you receive my dots every week. DOT stands for Devotions on the Tube, and these are virtual chapels for our school. They're an important part of keeping our community together at this time when we are physically apart, and I pray that they foster spiritual growth in our students. Each dot is viewed anywhere between 150 to 250 times. And as a side note, for those of you who participated or watched our Grandparents and Grandfriends Day, we had over 500 views that day. Go Grandparents. Anne Clark has done an excellent job in her new role as Development Officer this year, and the work of the development team is critical for the success of our strategic business plan, which included goals this year of fostering financial health, roof repayment, tuition assistance, student support services and money for special education, and our busing program. And so here's a report from Mrs. Anne Clark.
Hello everyone. It was a privilege to be able to share with you what has been happening in the area of development for CCS, although I would much prefer to be face-to-face than doing this video. Thank you to the Board of Directors for their vision in creating this opportunity as defined in the strategic plan. The development team consists of Scott Beder, our principal, Jen DeVries, our bookkeeper, and me, Anne Clark, the development officer. Starting in October 2019, our goals for this year have been to update contact information for supporters and alumni, rebuild relationships, reconnect with supporters and donors, create materials, and launch the Easter Fund Drive. Firstly, our team realized quite quickly that there was a lot of work involved in updating contact information, and so we decided to start slowly. We created a database from files dating back to the last century, yes, the 1970s, and it is an ongoing task of updating contact information. We are thankful for those in our community who remember our former parents and the students and can pass along contact information to us. Secondly, we believed we could be more intentional about showing our supporters how much we appreciate them. Scott and I have met with some of our supporters to share what the school is doing, specifically with our strategic plan, as well as thanking them for their support over the years. Their feedback is informing how we move forward and encouraging us to continue with regular updates. Following meetings with some of our key supporters, as well as our Christmas program plea, we were blessed to raise $14,500 over and above our regular giving in the month of December. Our Easter fund drive went ahead despite the current COVID-19 pandemic. The initial goal of this fund drive was to raise $100,000 and address 5 areas of our strategic plan, namely fostering financial health and roof repayment, tuition assistance, student support services or special education, and busing. The current pandemic has not changed our desire to see us pay off the roof and create a healthier financial picture for our school. It has, however, redirected our focus since many of our fundraising efforts have had to be cancelled. Proceeds from the fund drive will now focus specifically on tuition assistance, special education, and other areas of critical need. Since the March break, we have raised over $35,000. Praise God, and thank you to all of you who have given. As restrictions are lightened, businesses begin to open, and people go back to work, we look forward to connecting with those people that we haven't heard from to ask for their support. Psalm 90 verse 17 says, "May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands for us." Yes, establish the work of our hands. This is my prayer for Cambridge Christian School. Thank you.
During the pandemic, we have seen 3 families withdraw their children, while 118 families remain enrolled in our at-home learning program. Our preschool program has been closed due to COVID-19. To tell us a little bit more about our enrollment and promotions, here is our advancement coordinator, Mrs. Katie Valade.
Hi everyone, I wanted to share briefly with you all a quick snapshot of our enrollment and activity as we head towards the fall. Our current enrollment for the entire school, junior kindergarten to grade 8, is 226 students. We also had 15 children in our preschool program before we had to close due to the pandemic. At this time, we are projecting 114 families, including 7 new families for the 2020-21 school year. We are working with a few South Korean families, but we'll have to wait and see how that progresses as we head towards the fall. We had 2 successful information evenings in January and February, and we saw some alumni attend, which is always so heartwarming to see, and some brand new faces to our community as well. Many of the new families that are enrolling in September did participate in these evenings, so it's been wonderful to get a chance to get to know them already so far. We are so thankful for those who helped for these evenings by providing childcare, and for those who invited families to consider our school and Christian education as well. And I'm just very thankful for all the conversations I get to have through tours and information evenings, and work with people who are looking for Christian education and just walk that road with them. One of our strategic business plan goals was to intensify our promotion within churches, and this is something that's very close to my heart. I'm thankful for the opportunity to build new relationships with local pastors and churches, and we did see many new pastors attend our pastors' breakfast in November, and we were so looking forward to our spring breakfast, which of course had to be canceled. We visited 2 local churches this winter with a worship team of students, and we were able to display information about our school and also speak to the congregation about our school and vision as well. The goal here is to just have as many conversations as we can and build as many new relationships within the local church so that our school name is well known, especially to these churches in our community. We were looking forward to bringing another worship team to a church this spring, and that was out of a connection that we made with a brand new pastor to our school through these pastors' breakfasts. But of course, that will also need to be looked at again in the future to be rescheduled. I am looking forward to finding more ways to partner with local pastors and encouraging their congregations. I am still working with new families who are seeking Christian education for the fall and the future, and I'm offering them video conferencing to give as personal touch as I can in lieu of school tours. We are very thankful to see how God is still providing for us.
Katie has also taken on social media posts this year and done a fantastic job. In recent days, it has been especially fun to watch her Facebook post regarding student learning at home. Here's a brief clip. Well, thank you for listening this day, and I look forward to our membership meeting. I ask you to continue to keep our school in prayer that we would achieve our mission to educate students to be Christ-centered thinkers, Christ-centered communicators, and Christ-centered worshipers. And I look forward to seeing many of you virtually at our upcoming meeting.